What's up, everybody? This is Paul here from Pigskin Paisanos. We're doing matchups of the week, and first matchup I want to get to is the New England Patriots facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, this is going to be a shootout. Both teams have offenses that are just so effective, both in the passing game and running the ball. First off, let's just start with the Patriots. So for starts and sits, we're gonna first do the starts. You're starting Tom Brady. Tom Brady just defies Father Time. Last season over 4,000 yards passing. I once saw a comparison of him and Peyton Manning's MVP year, and they were like similar numbers from Tom Brady's stats from last season. So Tom Brady is still at the top level of his game. Of course, there's always the possibility that he performs like a QB2, but I mean, you are starting him as a QB1. I have him in my lineups. So also going to who Tom Brady is going to pass to. Julian Edelman, you are starting Edelman. He is the consensus number one for the Patriots as far as we know, because he's Tom Brady's safe blanket. Tom Brady's going to throw to him no matter what happens. And so, you have to start him. He's definitely a wide receiver too, a solid one too, one with a high floor. Now this one might be a little wild card, but I would start him. Josh Gordon. I mean, Gordon, as far as we know, Gordon's playing. We know the talent is there. We know that the ability is there. He's had just really barely any time to really showcase himself in New England, but you have to start Josh Gordon. I mean, at least as a flex. I mean, he's too talented. Also James White and Sony Michel. You have to start both of these guys. Patriots they were ranked the third most rushing attempts per game last season of any team in the entire NFL. So and it just revolves around those two backs. So have to start both those guys. You can start both of them really as RB2s even. I mean they just work so well in that offense. And so going to my sit for the Patriots, the only one really worth mentioning is Philip Dorsett. Dorsett, I just don't really trust him yet. I think Josh Gordon is definitely the number two and could take over number one duties one day. But as of right now, I have Dorsett sitting right now. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to start Big Ben. I mean, the Steelers had the most passing attempts of any team last season per game. They had the most attempts, so they just throw the ball nonstop. Big Ben is the man throwing it down there, and so because of that, you got to also start Juju, you got to start James Conner, and you have to start Vance McDonald. Vance is definitely a guy that I think is going to really crush it this year. I mean, the targets have to go somewhere. Antonio Brown is gone, and so who is Big Ben going to throw to? He's going to throw to Juju. He's definitely going to throw to Conner at least 4 or 5 times or more per game, and Vance is going to get a lot of that target share. So, and the wild card, and I would say a sleeper start is Dante Moncrief. I know that people are not sure, do you start Moncrief, do you start James Washington? I would side with starting Dante Moncrief as a flex option and sitting James Washington. I just want to see more out of James Washington. I think long-term Washington is the guy that might eventually take over as the number two. But as of right now, got to go with Moncrief, just a little more of a veteran presence there. And so I think that he's the number two that you're willing to start. I would sit Jalen Samuels. I know people think that Samuels is going to cut into Connor's workload. From what we saw in the preseason, Connor was used pretty heavily when he was out there. Samuels definitely is going to get work, but for now, sit him until you really see Samuels get some work, maybe in these early games. I would just sit him for now. So again, as I said, for the Patriots, you're starting Tom Brady, you're starting Gordon, Meadow, you're starting James White, you're starting Sony Michel, you're sitting Dorsett. For Pittsburgh, you're starting Big Ben, you're starting Juju, Connor, Vance, you're starting Moncrief even. You're sitting Samuels and you're sitting James Washington. Okay, guys, so those are my starts and sits for the Packers and Steelers game in week 1.